Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to come back for the show, A Month on Mahatmas. So today I have Mr. Manoj, who was my student during, the Easter days. Now he's an accomplished engineer and he works for an IT field and he does loads of things, which is interesting to know from him itself. So we are here on the day 11, speaker 11, and welcome to our show, Manoj. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great, ma'am. So I'm really excited to be part of this show. Meeting you after a long time, it's been really fantastic. The energy that you bring in, and I hope we continue the same energy.
God bless you. You are the people who remind me of my accomplishing days, the days when we started from grassroots levels and from where to where. It's like a milestone. It's like a measurement for all of us. It's a time to think about how we started small and small was beautiful. So I'm so glad you're here today. And may I know who is the Mahatma you're going to speak about today, Manoj?
Yeah, so I'm going to speak about APJ Abdul Kalam, sir.
Oh, wow. So APJ Abdul Kalam is a favorite of my dear positive psychology intern, Ramya. And as well as he is my all-time favorite for all that he did with so much of humility and humbleness. So thanks for choosing him today. So we are going to have a gala time for the next 40 minutes because we love hearing about him. Whether it is hearing, speaking, listening, or empathizing, or writing, anything about Abdul Kalam is fascinating. So thank you so much for being in our show. And may I ask you, what is the quote you have chosen about this great hero?
Yeah, so there are a lot of quotes that he has given to us, his life experience and everything. But one quote which stood out to me was, defeat the defeatist tendency. So he explains the situation where he was not selected in Air Force for a pilot. He got unselected, and then he was not in the mind to actually, had any positive thoughts, and he was about to reach, Rishikesh. There he found an ashram called Shivananda Ashram. There in Shivananda ashram, so they were generally, after the session is over, Shivananda asks two people to have a session, with a one-on-one session for about 10 to 15 minutes. So there was a foreigner and there was Abdul Kalam. So when Abdul Kalam's turn came and he asked, why are you sad? What is that you're making, it's making you unhappy? Why are you sad? And Abdul Kalam says, I worked hard. I really wanted to get that job. I worked day and night, and I couldn't get that job. So Swami Shivananda, he took out a book, it's Bhagavad Gita, and he starts explaining about how Lord Krishna explains, like, to Arjuna, how to defeat the defeatist tendency. So we may all face failures, like we wanted to get, our aspirations to come true, but most of the times we may fail. But it's our attitude to come up and say, you know what, I got to know one of the ways of not doing it, and then try with the new hope, and make sure that we never quit. So that is one quote which really stood out, and that is keeping me going till today. So Abdul Kalam sir has given a life experience quote on that, and I really love that quote.
Oh my God, this narration is so very inspiring. See, I've always heard that failures are stepping stone for success. So it is how you take failure. My father used to say, failure is something which you don't lose enthusiasm. You move from one project to the other project without losing enthusiasm. Failure is not what others look at you. It is all about you how you take it. If you are taking it as a lesson and a guidance for future, nothing like it. And I think during his weak moment, Abdul Kalam got the right guidance, because I think God sends statements from everywhere. So now when I was coming to Malgudi Farms, we are happily sitting here in Malgudi Farms, and I'm so glad to connect with you people from here. This is my happy place. And when I was coming here, I was looking for a statement, Manoj. Like, I was not that very, happy about things, the way one of transaction was moving. So I was looking for a statement on the road. Okay, I always do that. When I feel kind of not comfortable, I keep seeing for statements on the road. So what happened? I was coming and there was a huge board of Activa 125, and it says runs on respect. I was like, wow. I keep saying, people, if they don't love me, it's okay, but they have to respect me. Respect is what I want. I demand respect. Not love, because people can survive without love, but we can never survive without respect. So I really loved that statement, and it pepped me up, and I felt that it is God's calling, or the statement came from God. And then we came in, the transaction conversation moved well, the communication went on well. And, as though nothing happened, it was as though restored, restoration. That was the kind of happiness the thought process gives. So I'm so glad, God has been very kind to us, and God has been very kind to us, and things have been very favorable always. God has been very good to us. So that's what I like about it. So is there any other situation which you would like to talk about, Abdul Kalam, Manoj? Because I see a difference in you, because I think you have loads and loads of information about Abdul Kalam, and I want it from the horse mouth. So is there any other situation or transaction which inspired you to talk about Abdul Kalam? You can share with us.
Yes. So there are a lot of quotes again. So there's one more quote which comes to my mind, that our generation, younger generation, and the upcoming generation to look forward is work ethic. So he says a quote which it says, if you want to shine like a sun, first you need to burn like a sun.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Really, yeah. So it really means the work ethic. So we can't just wish, that there's an aspiration that you wanted to become something. Say, for example, you want to become a teacher, and then you don't take any action, or you don't work towards it, and you just wish that, I'm just going to become a teacher. It's not going to happen. Because if you want to do something, you got to work for it. You got to put all your heart into it. And then, with hope, I know there's going to be failures, but then again, you just have to have that attitude to just go for it. Because one day you're just going to say to everyone that, what, I had these failures, and that one day quote will always be there. So in order to say that, you need to keep it going. So the work ethic part is the main thing which I have always admired. He also puts up in his book, so The Wings of Fire, the time which he scheduled to write that book along with Arun Tiwari. So that really talks about the work ethic that he brings in. He had worked for Vision 2020 for India for almost 18 hours a day. We can't even imagine him giving a single person, giving 18 hours a day for a nation's dream. So if we ask people, what is your dream and how many hours you actually put into in a day, they might say, 7 hours, 8 hours for their own personal dream to accomplish. But so for him to, visualize India 2020 to become a developed nation and put forward the steps to be taken as a, as a person, as a family man, as a society, as a, as a state, as a country, it's amazing actually. So he's given the steps.
Go on, Manoj.
So so he has given the steps, and we are slowly moving towards it. It's very hard. Like when Abdul Kalam sir passed away, there was a question for everyone. He dreamt India to be a developed nation by 2020, but it didn't happen. And then everybody started complaining, the youth, which is 50-50, because we got independence just, 70 years plus. So it is not a long time to be as a developed nation. So if we look into other countries, say for example, US, so they have been developed they have been given the opportunity of 400 years to get to that state where they have been developed, and they've got that culture to respect talent and everything. So it's slowly happening in India, and definitely a great man's dream will never fail, will never ever fail. So I believe one day we'll be able to do it. Slowly, it is starting slowly, but definitely we need to make steps to achieve what he dreamt about. So it's our dream as well now. So
absolutely, it is such a beautiful show, and what I'm hearing makes me so fascinated. Like you rightly said, Manoj, when we have individual goals, we work 8 to 10 hours because that is our goal, isn't it? But making a nation's goal as an individual goal, he said, I'm responsible for my nation. When each person starts thinking and contributing in this way, thinking that my nation is my home, oh my God, the difference is going to be phenomenal. So I am so very blessed. The youth of today is taking Kalam's words seriously, and he said, the fate of my nation depends on my youth. So he believed in the power of the generation next. So I'm sure the way our nation is progressing, we will be on top radar very soon, because we are all scattered in thoughts, but our thoughts come from the place, from our ancestors who all were believing in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That is all for all of us. Freedom for all and all for freedom. The same way, one for all and all for one. So that way, I'm so glad I'm speaking to a speaker who knows so much about Abdul Kalam. And I have a special question for you. Suppose if you had a chance to meet Kalam in person as on today, I'm talking about the situation, current scenario where the COVID is and all that situation. Suppose if you get an opportunity to go and meet Kalam as on today, with he being aware of the state of affairs of Vision 2021, what would be your question to Kalam, or what is that one thing you will never forget to ask him?
Yeah, so he had given such a wonderful question. So I just believe that it should have happened, but unfortunately, it's no more. But yeah, so
it's a reality.
Yes. So I would have asked him a question about teachers, because currently what we are looking at students in their primary, secondary, and then college, and then pursuing their degree. So basically teachers have an immense role on students. So he had given a plan and on how we have to he said, so he just said, there is teacher plays an immense role in shaping a student's life. So if you want to move forward with great progress through a country, it's through our students. So what they wanted to do, so if students wants to improve, then it has to be from the teachers. So the goal is students, but it has to happen through teachers, because most of the time a student spends their curriculum or whatever it is with the teachers. So I would ask him, like, how to improve this COVID situations. I'm seeing that they're trying to attend their classes through Zoom. We don't know what is happening there, like they're facing any issues, how to develop and how to concentrate on these tough times to make sure that our education doesn't drift away. Because there are a lot of people. So I've also attended one of the classes for my Ramya attended an intern on dreams. So there people were struggling to attend their classes on, in their virtual classes. And there were people who were not having enough money to spend on the data. Just imagine. So we ignore these small things, and how a teacher can actually, teach students and make sure that, the students understand the concept through virtually. Because physically, if you are watching a student, whether he's listening or not, whether he's interested, how can I make this interesting? So as a teacher, there are a lot of things be running in your mind. But virtually, we don't know what the kid is actually going through, what is the environment around the kid. So it plays a major role. So I would definitely ask him about the teaching, because the guidance is required for students to move ahead and make sure, we all, progress in a right way, the right path. And students should always go forward. So that is what I wanted to ask, like how teachers can make teaching effective, in virtual. So that will be my question for 2021, because he has never he had meetings in seminar, I know that, but there was no teaching kind of a thing when he existed. So I just wanted to ask him about that.
Oh my God, I think this is one of the apt questions you can ask, Abdul Kalam, especially if you would have asked about teachers. He considers himself to be one of the teachers. So I think he would have given his own perspective, and maybe, yeah, like you said, sometimes for learning, data is also so very important. We don't have data to learn. So there is so much happening, so much he could have given a thought process of. So that's been amazing. That's really good that you would have taken the question on teachers, and I'm sure you would have spent hours with you, because he loves intellects. He loves people who are concerned about the nation. So that's amazing. Manoj, can you tell a little about yourself? What have you been doing, and what fascinates you, and how you try or how you want to contribute to your nation or country or home? It could be anything which fascinates you, and which tells more about you.
Yeah. So in India, so they say this in general. So a kid is growing, and once he reaches his degree, so there's a choice whether you want to become a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, and you have only three options. I mean, there are millions of options, but we've given only three, so we are restricted to three. So my father wanted me to get into engineering. I didn't have a clue, on what to pursue. I studied in St. Joseph's in PUC, and took electronics as a main subject. So I pursued electronics and communication engineering in MBJ College, and I finished my degree. But the interesting part is, once I'm going to finish my engineering, the last semester, that is when I'm getting to know that this is not my calling. It's really a thought where I couldn't understand myself, like, okay, why am I being here? Like, what is this? I understood at the end. I understood that it's not my calling, and have to try, to get to know myself a lot more. And then there's family situations which didn't allow me to take the time to get into what I wanted to do. Then I got into an IT job. So there I work as a network security engineer. So it's a very interesting field, but I feel it's not my calling. So it's an interesting field. You gotta admit that, but it's not my calling. And I wanted to share one of my failures here. So I was pursuing 10th, and there was a project on, it says Bala Janagraha. So that's a project that was given opportunity for our school. So there were two things. So one is an intra school competition, and there is an inter school competition. So in intra school, we were able to finish first. So whoever finishes first will represent the school in intra school competition. Then we went there, and there was huge audience. Oh my God, it was were more than 1,000 people, turned up to that event, and that was the first time I'm seeing such a huge audience. So a team of 10, and we had to talk about a topic, and each had 5 minutes to make an impact on whatever they wanted to talk. So I was the second person lined up to talk about the topic. So once I get into that stage, the steps going on 1, 2, 3, 4, my heart started beating, and I was shivering. Literally, my my legs. I came to know that I'm going to screw up before it started. So this is my first experience. Actually, I'm looking at so many people, everybody looking into me. So there's 2,000 eyes versus two. So you got to see everyone is looking into me and what I speak. So that but here's what interesting happened. Like, I screwed up. I knew I screw, and I screwed up. But the interesting part is there was a guide for us to mentor and look at where we are going wrong. There was nothing said to me at that point.
Okay.
I didn't understand what failure was, or what is anxious, like why. So am I not prepared enough? I should have prepared before. It's seeing the first time such a huge audience. Like intra school is very easy, so it's only our teachers, we got to do that, but even thousands of people turn
there.
up.
You had a comfort zone.
Yeah. So so at that time, so this is what interesting thing happened. So after that, I understood failure differently, and I didn't participate in any other competitions. I understood totally different. Okay, so then everybody started complaining. It was you, because of you. That is why our school didn't win the champ. They're not able to see what where we are going wrong. It's if he could have said, if that person would have said, you are just 16 and you tried your best, it's okay. So next time you try hard. And if these were the things that was given to me, or if she moved me in that direction, who knows, I would have become a better person. But unfortunately, I failed to understand that failure part, which I really regret. I should have learned it before, but that is what. So and we should understand that it's going to come to your way. It's going to hit you hard. It will punch in your face right up there. It will knock you down, but it's up to you to get up and run again. So now I think I'm going to start my podcast with my sister, and they're going to hopefully, there are going to be millions watching me. So it's not going to be thousands, it's going to be millions. So I have made my step forward. So hopefully, there's going to be testing times, I guess. So let's wait and watch.
Amazing, Manoj. The world is yours. See, what I would say is, I would say that it is not a failure. You stood up, right? You didn't speak. But then, it can happen to anybody. The last week when I went to Kodumudi, I watched Talaivi. Talaivi is Jayalalitha's
biopic
or something like that. In that, she will speak in parliament in English to grab the attention of Indira Gandhi. Okay, when they say that somebody from South is going to speak, the whole parliament becomes a chohos. So many people and nobody wants to listen to us. So what she does is she takes the attention by saying, a loud good evening, and she addresses Madam Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So that happens over experience. The same Jayalalitha has told that when I was studying in 4th standard in Mount Carmel's here in Bangalore, there was an elocution and she went up to the stage, she cried and she came back. So we become what we become over a period of time. So, maybe she realized how important is the opportunity to speak, because she couldn't speak at her school. So maybe she carried that thought. Maybe you're carrying that thought today. You thought that is important to share. You told this is one of the failures. Maybe I think this is the stepping stone for success, because I could see the smile and the happiness you brought in which lit up your face when you said, I'll be doing podcast and millions of people will be watching me. So always failure is a missed opportunity. That doesn't mean we won't get an opportunity again. So I always say it is not a failure when you fail, but it is a failure when you fail to retry, fail to go back to the same place and where you failed, to pick up the pieces of you, pick up the pieces of no confidence to confidence. So I think that is the biggest failure, to realize, introspect, and look into it and build ourselves again. So you're doing it amazingly well. And for me, you are a person in the making. And I wish you the very best for your podcast, for your all the endeavors you do. See, failure is just a part of the game. Failure is part of the success. So if we don't try, then that is the biggest failure. If you're not trying,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
to do no mistake, we should not do anything at all. We should be sitting quiet. Don't do anything. Then you won't do any mistake. But if you have to learn something, if you have to do something, you have to fail. You have to understand. Like Ramya always says, every expert was a beginner at one day, isn't it?
Yes.
It is amateur's gold. That's how we learn. That's how we collect experience. That's how we come up in life. So that's amazing. So over to Ramya. Ramya, do you have any question for this brilliant boy over here?
I really don't have any question. To be honest, I'm feeling so happy because like I have been listening to him for like years now. Like few days ago, when I spoke about Abdul Kalam, to be honest.
Yes.
And these were the things that he taught me. I would say like I learned all these from my brother.
Yeah.
Like Nadia said few days back when Theresa was there, she's a dreamer. So today, if I'm allowed to dream so much, it's because of my brother. He let me to dream. He was like, go achieve like what you want to achieve. And whatever he said, I'm so glad that he's on this show. Like whatever he said was only the four walls in our room knows all these stories. Today, I'm so happy that somebody is able to like understand him and his knowledge. So I'm like super proud. And that's it. I don't have any questions.
So you are super proud of your brother, and I'm super proud of my student who, I used to come for his middle school and high school classes, where he, saw the kind of energy we put into tuitioning, because it was a one stop for all the subjects. We used to handle Hindi, Kannada, English, math, everything. So it was a happy times, Manoj. Like, when I see back my life, for the last 20 years, what makes me happy is I did what all made me happy. And even today, I do what makes me happy. So it's like love what you do and do what you love. So at the end of the day, if you are asking, is it a job you're doing? Absolutely no job, because we are all going to work until the work works for us. And we are super proud of doing what we are doing in our own way. It need not be success to somebody else, but it is a contentment to us, because we don't measure our life only through money. It is health, wealth, and happiness. Even in my talk today with some of our partners, I was talking about this only. I said, see, I don't mind which part of the globe I am. All that I want to be is do more of things what makes me happy. My children make me happy. I want to be with them. So I'm homeschooling them, and I'm keeping them in the office, and I'm seeing them every now and then when I want to. So, the man in my right makes me happy. So most of the time I want to drive with him, eat with him, be with him, and it makes me happy. So the same way, doing honors to unsung heroes, standing for a cause and being there for a purpose. Maybe it is a very little what we do, but of course we are happy doing little things in our own way, so that we are happy. So at the end of the day, we are productive, we are happy, we are loved, we feel loved, and we feel that we are there to put a small dent in the society, and that's happening. Because Abdul Kalam was known. Abdul Kalam, once he became the president of India, right? Even before that also, he had an impact which people didn't know. It all built over the years, and the Karma gave it back to us. So that way speaking, I think we don't know what the future holds for us, but we are all people with, big heart, wanting to do something phenomenal in the society. And I'm sure the universe will listen to our intentions, and we'll be able to do great things with, great power of love. Like Mother Teresa, we keep saying, right? We cannot do great things alone. We can only do small things with great love. The small things what we do should make us happy. And that makes us happy. Your sharing definitely made me very happy today. So before we close the show, is there any message you want to give the world? Because I see behind in your background, believe in yourself. That's my favorite quote as well. BPL had it. So you remember BPL TV, they had this, no? Believe in yourself. So it reminds me of my good old days. So is there any tagline or any message you want to give the world? Please let me know.
Yeah, so it's believe in yourself. So that is the thing. So no matter, like, if there's going to be people who say that you can't achieve your dream, or there's no way in the world that you're going to do great things in life. So you're just going to understand that they're telling you a lie, the greatest lie you ever heard. So you got to believe yourself, like, for sure, it's not going to happen in 1 or 2 or 3 years, but you definitely know that you are on that path. You're on that journey. So you're enjoying that journey as you go along. Definitely will figure out a way. And once you achieve, there is no need to tell them, what you said one day that I did that, you will not be able to achieve. See, I achieved. There is nothing sort of things that going to happen. You just need to make your work to speak, rather than you speaking to them, calling them and, telling them these things happen. So just believe in yourself, and, just keep it going. And this is a message I wanted to say. And before I conclude, so I just wanted to thank Jai Saraswati ma'am for giving me this opportunity. It's a huge opportunity. I can't believe that I'm connecting to the world. So happy, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity.
No, this is just
thank you, Ramya.
This is just a start. I'm sure we are going to do a lot of things together, and we make happy, because we have to spend time with people who make us happy. And I think we are all, belonging to the same level of compliance and same synchronization. So I think we will spend more time doing what we love and loving what we do. Compatibility matters. I always talk about compatibility. Spend a lot of time with people with whom your relationships are good, in whose company you're feeling better. And I always say, spend time with people who are good for your mental health. I think we all are good for mental health, because we are all vibrating, smiling, and happy with each other. It's a happy lot. That's all matters. Being happy for no reason. So when there is a challenge or when there is a failure, I always believe it is just a bend and not an end. So for every end, there is a new beginning. Let us begin and see what it takes. So as of now, I let you go, and I'm happy for your message. I'm happy for your sharing. And I'm also happy that you're making your sister strong, and you're there for her as a mentor, guide, and philosopher, because it is very difficult to find a teacher at home. And I'm glad she is lucky enough that you are born first, and you're helping her to be someone whom she wants to be. So the freedom is amazing and phenomenal. She holds you very high. She holds you very high. And I'm sure this relationship of yours will continue forever, and you will be, accountability partner for each other. So thank you very much. I always end my show by saying my high-five statement. I dedicate my high-five statement to you today. Sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, and God bless you. I wish you most and more, and let all your dreams and endeavors come true. God bless you, dear. See you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.